like JD said last week, and if everyone remembers what JD said, this game is going to be won in the trenches, talking about the AFC Championship game.
That's right. This
game is, you could probably say the same exact thing for this one. Like, the battle will be won. This game will be won in the trenches, in this trench warfare that we'll have. So this week we're playing against one of the best defensive linemen in the league, and probably the second best defensive tackle in the league in Jalen Carter, who led all D tackles in the postseason with 20-plus pressures, most by defensive tackle since Chris Jones in 2022. They have the numbers right there. Jalen Carter, 20-plus pressures in the postseason. Chris Jones had 20-plus in 2022. Just the numbers. I mean, he's putting up some pretty ridiculous numbers here. Carter played 68 of 70 defensive snaps, was double teamed on 26 of his 49 against the Rams. The NFC Championship game, Carter led the team with 8 pressures, while Nolan Smith, Morrow, Ajamo, and Milton Williams each had 4, and Jordan Davis contributed with 3 on only 10 pass rush attempts. So, like, this is a pretty damn good defensive tackle D-line we're going to be going up against, much like the one we played against last week, much like the one we played against 2 weeks ago against Houston. So this isn't, like, out of the norm for us, right? And then we looked at the numbers from earlier. This pass rush is not really 15th in the league as far as sacks go. So, I mean, yes, Jalen Carter's a badass. Not taking anything away from him, but it's nothing we haven't seen before, and nothing these guys haven't seen before either, our guys. So on the other side, we got Creed Humphrey, who his last 9 games, he's allowed 0 sacks, 3 pressures allowed, and 1 QB hit. So, JD, when you look at the numbers here, I mean, there's plenty of things to look at here. What are you looking for to see from our offensive line, interior offensive line this week that you have seen from the last few games, or that you haven't seen from the last few games? I know we talked about Caliendo the other day, that you want to see, and that you're going to need to see, that we're going to need to see as fans if you want to come out of this game and win this trench warfare against Philadelphia, going against this the Jalen Carter and all these guys on the other side of the ball.
So I'll address it this way. What I need to see our guys be is physical up front. Okay. Jalen Carter is one hell of a player. He is incredible. Wish we could have got him. I knew we couldn't go up there to go get a guy like him at all.
I remember we talked about that.
Yeah, man. That could you imagine him and Chris Jones beside each other? I mean, sure.
Nasty.
Yeah, for sure. But what I also know, what I've also seen is, let's see, Creed Humphrey went against Cameron Hayward, second as defensive tackle in the league. We went against Poona Ford, who's 5th in the entire league in PFF. That's how they look at it. We have seen John Franklin Myers, okay, the league. We've seen Tierra Tart. We see some of the best. And what I know about Creed Humphrey, that has some field to show, is he likes putting his hands on guys, and he does a hell of a job. This guy right here is a wrestler, state champ, if you will. He's gone against some of the tough opponents, and he's got some bully guys around him that make sure if he needs some help, they'll be there right there for him. They've done a tremendous job this entire time. So it's not like we see anybody different as far as like what the NFL gives. We've gone against the best. The best is on our team, Chris Jones, by far. So Jalen Carter, like I said, is an incredible talent, man. Not taking anything away from you. The Joker is a handful. He is a handful, and that Joker is going to be a monster. But it's always going to look like how many times is Creed actually going to have his hands on him or Joe Tooney. And look, I'm going to say this, okay?
Want to make some quick cash during the rest of the NFL playoffs? There's still time to embrace your inner underdog. Over the last 4 weeks, we have given 15 selections and have cashed on 13 of them, predicting higher or lower on multiple different player statistics. So we are ready to continue this heater into the conference championship and beyond. So if you've yet to download the Underdog app, do so now and get free cash. Click the link in the description or use promo code CHIEFCONCERNS, that's one word, to claim your free pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. It's conference championship weekend, so let's continue to keep the good vibes in 2025.
It's my opinion. I don't even know. But is this something the Chiefs may look and say, now do we bring DJ Humphreys to play left tackle and let Joe Tooney come on the inside? Is that something? I don't know. I'm waiting for a conversation. I don't know if anybody's asked it. I don't know if anybody said it. I don't know. I think they fine with Mike playing where he is. Okay. But if there's any concern, will they make that move? I'm just saying there's something in the back of my head and saying, is this what, have they been waiting all along for this? Somebody asked about Rashid Rice coming back and play. I was like, Rashid Rice, we see all these videos and stuff. I'm like, I don't think Rashid's coming back.
No.
And I said, to be honest with you, I don't even know if I wanted to. Seriously. Especially with the type of rotation we've been going and the type of rapport we have with one another. I think we're fine at where we're at right now. We got enough weapons to do what we need to do. Is that the same for DJ Humphreys? Do we just keep him on the side and just say we're gonna go with Tooney and Mike Caliendo? And Mike does a great job. Mike, Creed, Trey, all those guys. We just need those guys to be physical up front. They do a good job, tremendous job of helping one another. So that's what I look at, man, as far as number-wise. Creed's doing a hell of a job playing on the inside, playing against all these guys. He has seen them all in this league, okay? He's seen the best. Cameron Hayward, to me, for what he's given over the years, he's playing at a high level this year. Creed had to see a little bit of him, too. I know he got a little hurt. He kind of walked off the field a little bit against us, but he came back. But these guys are going to be up to the task, man. If they play like they played this last game, we're going to be fine. We're going to be A-okay. Because they were physical. They were rooting guys out. They was getting underneath them. They was getting some very good combination blocks. They had each other's backs. They was able to communicate. And most of the time, they kept Pat upright. That's what we need to do. And let him go to work. Let him go and work. Daryl E., I think Mike C is getting better. Am I wrong? No, he's definitely gotten better. He's gotten a lot of confidence. That's what you want to see a guy play with. And so he has gotten a lot better. So, yeah, I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm just saying something in the back of my head, if this is something that I wouldn't put it this way. I wouldn't be shocked if I heard something like that. Let me say it that. It might be a better way of saying it, Daryl E. That they was like, hey, we might go. Okay, maybe they see something. So I don't know. I'm not out there at practice, but
JD, I've this is more of a after 2 weeks from now question.
Yeah.
There's a possibility that Tooney, if you look at Tooney, look at all the other left tackles we've trotted out there this year. Look at the left tackles we've had. I mean, we've had a kind of revolving door. We obviously didn't like Orlando Brown enough to even resign him, right? Mm-hmm. And his price point, while Tooney is pretty expensive for guards, as a left tackle, his price point is pretty good. Do you think there's a chance they say, you know what, it's easier to find a guard than it is to find a left tackle, and we obviously trust Tooney to be our left tackle? You think it is plausible they could say, you know what, that's our left tackle next year. Let's go find a guard in the draft or the offseason next year. Think it's possible?
You know what? I don't even explore that question, man, but I think it is. Is that plausible? Sure. I just with the Chiefs, you never know. If Joe says, yeah, I'm fine with it, I'm sure he'll do it. He's played tackle in college and he's played here in the league. And he's done a great job. So obviously they get into like the measurements of guys' arms and stuff like that. They're sitting there saying, man, can you be comfortable out there for the entire year? And then Joe was like, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Who's to say that they wouldn't be able to do it? So I don't know. I guess it's a little bit too soon to know and to find out, but I don't think it's something that's off the table. I think it's actually a good, maybe a good thought, good argument.
Strategically, look at you gotta look at the money, right? Strategically, money wise, that's a solid move. He's already making a decent amount for guards, but left tackle wise, he's not making he wouldn't be breaking the bank as a left tackle. You can find a guard, you can find him, you can find guards pretty easily, right? Mike Caliendo's not looking that bad, right? Same money in the left guard, maybe go find someone to replace Trey Smith if they do decide not to pay Trey Smith. So they're gonna have their hands full with that. But it's just like the crux of the season's on the line. We put him in at the left tackle spot in a pinch. and he's been our left tackle. And look at these numbers here. Tooney is one of 16 left tackles that played 30-plus pass block snaps without allowing a pressure in multiple games this season. I mean, like, that's starting left tackle stuff. And we're talking about a starting left tackle who's taken us all the way to the Super Bowl as our starting left tackle. It's like, I mean, at some point, I'm sure Brett Veach, like, I think someone, Witchy Hall, I bet Brett Veach has already addressed that question. I bet you Brett Veach is already thinking about this. Maybe
sure.
this our left tackle.
Yeah, I'm sure they probably, kind of talked about it. The thing is, what do you do with King Suma and all those other guys? Do you move Suma down instead of Mike and let him play that position? Is DJ Humphrey something like he'll get a whole training camp and stuff under his belt that we bring him back for a team-friendly deal? There's a lot of questions there. We still got to sign what we're going to do with Trey Smith and, talking about Nick Bolton and those things. There's a lot of different things, man, a lot of questions. I think it's a little bit too soon to talk about that. But, as far as, at least now, this game, how he plays, I mean, he looks good. I don't think it's something that is off the table. Not at all.
Yeah. I mean, his numbers, man. I mean, we always say, oh, he's a great spot like tackle, right? He can do it in a pinch. And like, not only is he doing it in a pinch, he's doing it and he's looking really good at doing it, right? And just showing how badass he is. And I think I made a comment the other day. I think, like, just looking at the stat, 5 offensive linemen who played at least 20 pass block snaps didn't allow a single pressure in the conference championship round. Deion Dawkins, who everyone says is probably one of the best left tackles in the league now, who had 37 pass snaps, and then Tooney 35. Like, we're talking about comparing him to one of the best left tackles in the league. It's just like, I don't think Tooney's even getting enough credit in the national space. We obviously, Chiefs content creators, we praise him, and we can't say enough about Joe Tooney, but I don't think he's getting enough praise in the national space. But of course, offensive lineman, people don't really. It's not really a sexy topic, but Tooney, man, you can make the argument without Joe Tooney, we are in the spot right now where we are. Tooney's been that good.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah. And he gives us some wiggle room to play around with the guard spot and the tackle spot in the offseason. So that'll be a conversation for the offseason.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.